This is the future.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, thewierdguy here and welcome to another video. In this one we're going to take a look at a few solo raid fights, including one with Raven plus Banshee and one with Multiverse team plus Banshee. Keep in mind I haven't played those that much. The Multiverse fight is actually the first one I'm playing, so there is for sure a more optimal combination of combos than I'm doing myself over here. So those teams can be played much better. I just haven't had enough experience with them so far to come up with the best strategy. And also keep in mind, though, that's for the next fights, that's the Multiverse team that I'll be using will not be the best one because it's on my main account, and the Multiverse team on my secondary account is the very well built one. This one has a 5-star Multiverse armored Supergirl, so yeah, not the peak performance. But yeah, starting off with the Banshee fights, we did a 24 mil special tree in there, so that was nice. We're going to try and refresh Darkness with the special 2, because that's gonna allow us to also inflict some disables, because Banshee's passive is going to allow you to disable enemies' abilities, not only with all her specials, but also with special 2s and 3s from other characters that are not that are arcane characters. I'm going to use a special 1 there to get some power generation, special 2 to disable one more. The problem is I couldn't really find the most optimal way to get this sorted out in order to build some combo for Banshee, because that's also important for her. And also I'm not sure I have the most optimal setup in terms of disables, because usually you should go for 2 disables with Banshee so that it leaves room for a special 3 to also be able to disable something. Maybe you should have gone for 3 of them in this fight, I don't know. But this one will be enough to finish the job, so that's pretty much everything that I'm concerned for. We'll have a level 10 All Blades on Banshee, and we'll have a level 4 God Killer on Raven, and a level 4 Prometheum Sword on Power Girl. All those will be for passive stats. Now special 3 from Banshee there. Sadly not a crit, but one more should solve it. And yeah, that's it for the Banshee fight. I mean, it did get the job done. Still, you should not be using this, because you just got better options. Other teams are gonna do far better with Raven. I used it because I didn't have Brainiac to use with Raven, and I only had Banshee and Raven available, so yeah, that was that. I mean, I had a League of Anarchy also, but I used that on another boss after that one, that you might see here. Right here, we're going to move on to a Kimflan Sakomen fight. We're going to have a level 7 Beta Club on Kimflan Sakomen, and the artifacts mentioned previously in terms of the last contract artifacts, again just for the passive stats for the most part. And I'm trying to get used to the Kimflan Sakomen Beta Club gameplay, because previously I would just play him normally, but you should do jump attacks mainly to reset the Beta Club dots, because those are going to apply far higher dot values than your normal swipe attacks. So I'm just trying to figure out the most optimal way to do that in terms of gameplay. But yeah, mainly, as you might see in some other fights that I'm gonna show you another day, mainly you most likely will get the same result even if you struggle to do the jump attack into some specials, or if you play normally, because if you do the jump attack thing, it's not gonna be the most optimal gameplay overall. We sadly got hit there, my bad. Failed to combo chop with Dr. Fate, but re-engaged the combo nevertheless. King back in there. Combo and chopping there again, and we're going to go for a fat super move. Almost a 40 hit combo, almost. We're going to do a jump attack to try and set up a good dot before we tag out, but sadly that was not a crit most likely, so that's not gonna be the best scenario overall. But yeah, 1.2, that's pretty much what the value that we're looking for. That's the value that we want to tag out with, but it was not possible this time. King back in there, special 3, re-engage the combo, and trying to end off in a jump attack, blocking that. But yeah, the dot value is definitely worth it. Did another jump attack in there, I don't really know what was the point of that. Again, just trying to figure out. Another jump attack in there, should have followed with the special 3 actually. And the special 3, and sadly we leave it at a low dot value. And another jump attack in there, Dr. Fate back in. I don't think I really needed to tag in Dr. Fate back in there. Again, still getting used to this. Jump attack into a special 3, there we go. Yeah, as you can see, with a normal swipe right, the highest dot value we get is 850, and with the jump up attack we get all the way to 1.3k, so it's definitely something that you should keep in mind. But again, I'm having trouble to really integrate that into fluid gameplay at the moment. He's gonna do a super move on Darker Fate, and he's gonna actually die. I was not expecting that, but I think this dude has that bonus again, where yet again deals more damage depending on how high his power bars are. We got block there again. Bro, if jump attacks were not so unreliable, this would be working so far better. Going to tag in Red Hood here a bit. But yeah, as I was saying, if they got that thing that allows them to deal more damage the more full their power bar is, that's gonna be for the most part irrelevant in terms of their normal specials, but the super move is most likely gonna one-shot most things. So that's something you should keep in mind. Managed to reset that on a high dot, but followed up with normal combo. Red Hood back in there. Combo interrupting with Red Hood. Influence Aquaman back in there, into a jump attack, into a special 3, and this is gonna be definitely a close one. Combo interrupting there into a special 1, and there we go, 3 seconds left and we have killed him. I would call that a successful fight. And yeah, that's kind of how far King goes if the enemy is low on health. It's on average 200 mil. If it's a 200 mil fight, he can do it. Because the lower the health is, the lower damage he's gonna do with the special 3, but at the same time, the more likely is for him to one-shot because the target is low on health. We're going to fight Red Hood here with the League of Anarchy team. And yeah, this dude's got a lot of defense. But, and I could have, like, used Sword of Sin on Arkham Knight Batman to reduce his defense with each of my special 2s, but I decided not to do so because his defense decreases with the timer of the battle, and again, my Harley has maxed Armor Pierce, like 4 epic talents, so we're still not gonna be able to do Armor Pierce on our swipes, because yet again the talent doesn't work on swipes, works only on normal taps, but still, I don't think it would have been worth it, because other than the level 3 Sword of Sin, we're going to use here level 4 God Killer and a level 4 Prometheum Sword, as I said. And all blades on Harley, that's gonna have some lethal attack damage on it. And that's gonna do well combined with her lethal attack chains that I have on this build. So I'm trying to get a legendary lethal attack damage on her 7 talent. But no luck so far. That thing is hard to get. Another special 2 in there. Harley back in. And yeah, the damage is piling up, and if we had the full 3 minutes, we would easily be able to kill this one. But sadly, we don't have the full 3 minutes because it's only 2 minutes and a half with this fight. So it's either gonna be a close one or an unsuccessful one. Now special 2 in there. Harley back in with a full combo. The dot values are decent. And you kind of notice the difference, because I did today an art fight with Harley, and you kind of notice the defense difference, because I just got overall far higher values on the fight that I did today compared to this one. Harley back in there, another full combo. Arkham Knight Batman back in. Our special 2. At this point, he should be out of defense most likely, or very low on it at the very least, because as it says, if it works, granted if it works, there's no guarantees with something working in Just Mobile, let's remember that, but if it works, this dude's defense is going to decrease as the battle goes on, and you can kind of see that on the fact that we're starting to do also full damage on the swipe attacks. And yeah, we saw 1.6 mil on a swipe, and that's on a single dot value, and I think that's the highest we've seen so far, and we haven't seen those values at the start of the fight. But yeah, sadly, not enough to kill him. Though I did finish this fight on stream yesterday, so a little bit of a spoiler. I mean, not even a spoiler, the expected, garbage rewards. Okay, now getting into a Multiverse fight, I used the Beta Club on Multiverse Armored Supergirl, and I'm not sure that was the best choice, maybe I should have used All Blades. But since I'm not familiar with the gameplay, I was like, yeah, Beta Club is gonna deal a decent amount of damage since we get Raven in there, and is not gonna run the risk of me dying that All Blades would have ran. First up, we're going to start stacking special 1. Another thing that I will not do for the most part of the fight is I will not use special 1s. Like, Multiverse Armored Supergirl special 3 is gonna get increased damage if the special 1 is active on the enemy. I also reduce the enemy's defense. I don't think she has any defense, so I didn't really think that was worth using in terms of that. And in terms of simply increasing my damage on the special 3, as you'll see later on when I actually try and do that, I don't think it's the most worthwhile thing in the world, at the very least not for her. in this particular scenario, because I don't think it fully stacks with the Raven damage increase. Like, in theory, we should get far more from it, but in this particular scenario, it doesn't increase it by as much as you think. But yet again, this is the first time I'm trying this team. This fight will, for the most part, play kind of like absolute garbage, if I'm being honest. And most likely there would have been some gameplay I could have done to introduce the special one. And yet again, this is just a 5-star multiverse armor supergirl, so we're missing on a lot of attack and our talents are garbage. Our special tree, that was a 3.2 special tree. I mean, nowhere close the silver Banshee level in terms of the damage, but it's gonna be, to an extent, a little bit more constant in terms of the fact that if we successfully combo interrupt, we can do a succession of special trees. And looking at this, what I think we could have been able to do is we could have done it to the point where we do 2 special trees or even 3 special trees before the Raven needs to get back tagged in, and even refresh the burning effect. A problem that I was not expecting to face, because this is something you don't usually see with the Multiverse team, is for the first couple of for the first minute at the very least of the fight, I struggled a bit with power generation, which is something I didn't really think I would ever see on the Multiverse team. So yeah, we got the special 1 going in there, another special 3, and yeah, the damage difference is not that high compared to not having the burning effect active, but is most likely worth doing if you're able to optimize your gameplay towards it. We're gonna tag Raven to tank this. It was kind of risky, because if she got too much damage done on her, we would have gotten our darkness reset. Also, I took it a little bit too slow with the Multiverse team, a little bit too chill, because usually you're used to have those additional 30 seconds from Red Hood, and that was sadly not the case here, because there's only room for 4 characters in a team. Another special tree in there, and yeah, we failed again to come into Multiverse our Supergirl. Like, as I said, this could have been played so much better. This could have most likely one-shot, but again, verdict, not worth using with any of those things, because you get far better options. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
This is the future.